Hello, my name is Tom Phillips and I'm originally from the UK, but I've been living in Sofia in Bulgaria for the last 3 years. And this is a little sequence of poems that I wrote actually the last time that we flew back from the UK to Sofia. A little sequence of poems called Only Now. Why is it, Frank O'Hara, I'm thinking of you in 1950s New York at 35,000 feet over Europe, and my watch says it's 9:05, but we're no longer in England? Piled clouds look benign. Another jet hangs still against the paling sky. Out of centre spreads pictures of the bars in Budapest's bill. No news on the poets in Ghana, needless to say. I've not been long away, but the man beside me sounds like a regular from the corner shop that closed down when we were packing that day. Or the bouncer of the bar we went to at Christmas when smokers got round a foyer window ledge so they could get round the smoking ban. Outside this window there's only weather, and that isn't ours right now. If we were over the sea, furling ships' wakes streaking white on blue would be something. It can't be different for others. Although I can also hear you saying art shows on long flights might be an idea, or not life jackets, but poetry collections to be reached for under your seat. Heading east, not west, the towers of Manhattan aren't going to emerge bristling from the Hudson as they did 4 decades ago, when my father swore he was never mugged because of the raincoat he wore. Not that being anyone has changed in that sense while still learning to live in durations unmeasured. At this altitude my ears refuse to adapt to the pressure, but what's not such a far cry from seatbelt signs is my father ignoring their insistent warnings to show me the badlands unfurling below, because such things did occur, as did him saying he wanted to come back as a seagull, so it's likely he's come back twice now, once as a seagull and then as whatever a seagull aspires to be. My mobile phone corrects itself 11:27 local time, 31 degrees Celsius, 42.7 degrees north, 23.41 degrees east. And there's that Uranus smell in the baggage claim area from the toilets that forever need fixing. But don't let me be tempted by allegorical trappings or see the uniformed woman in the passport booth as other than a uniformed woman working a shift. The steps outside lead nowhere more out of this world than the taxi rank, from where it costs 12 leva to the new Lidl on Stochna Gara, because so few drivers can find Ulica Chumurna even on their GPS. Only now this is Sofia passing the window like a film, and we're circulating in the butterfly of slip roads that rise to the chaussee, and warmth breezes in while a faded Martinitsa swings on the rear view mirror, though I guess that Ivan, his name's printed out on his license card, is no great fan of superstition, at least not in public. Unlike that driver in Brasov who crossed himself at every set of lights, he observes everything apart from the speed limit. Thanks to Ivan, we're home at precisely 11:59, and even the main door lock opens at the first attempt. Spiders have been busy between double glazing. Who knows what the top floor and basement are like when nobody's been there all summer? And as always, the steps recall those in Chinon, when we woke early because they were building market stalls with clanking poles, and we went to a cafe for breakfast, watching men drink pastis as if that was a challenge they'd set themselves. Only now I'm out on the balcony, and it's lunchtime, and the staff from the regional development office are collecting outside Papa Joe's and Picasso's. A young woman in a toweling robe hangs from a ground floor window, smoking and laughing. One story up, a clay head's got its back to me. A song keens clear from another apartment. It's as familiar as it gets for easing disquiet, like the applause for the pilot on landing. Or a poem. I'm thinking of one that's been hanging around in a recess between 2 blocks on Ulica Serdica, whose forms and colour fields tempt studies in perspective, or whose slung balconies jumbled with chairs, only hurrying, forgetful. I'm past it too soon, and there's no choice but to leave it be. But here we are, rising up behind the plate glass window overlooking the main ambulance station, and the clouds are assuming a mild late afternoon boredom. The woman above us on the travelator works in the stationery shop, the Prince Opera tickets, boarding cards, these poems. The ex-chef from Picasso's is a security guard. He's not on duty today, but we're only in Lidl to buy wine and milk and, it turns out, a rucksack. At the till, we're given 3 stamps for a card that will earn us a vegetable toy. We've almost enough for an eggplant. It depends, so much, on looking out as we glide from the tills. Green and purple shrubs have taken hold on the corner. Just this second passed by an air-conditioned coach that's still some 14 hours, 38 minutes from Vienne. Roots buckle up through the paving slabs outside the off-licence we didn't know was there for 2 winters. The road sign points to Belgrade. So as news comes in now at 22:15 local time, it's not even as if pigeons will look confused beside recycling bins. This grey hood belongs to someone crouched on a ledge and struggling to light a cigarette. It's October. Another body lies prone by the National Library. 2 people stop to check her pulse. On Rakoska that time, someone collapsed on the crossing, and today we only left her, that fallen woman, when we were sure they were bringing coffee from the kiosk. What's worn out are facades and what's built into them. It's been too long since I walked down Iscar to the Springs, then back down Exarch Yosef with the socialist mural and those soft, spray-painted lovers in the parking lot. It's as if what's coming into view stands in for the absence choices have turned to consequence. Only now, at 18:15 local time in Banashwara, we were just noting late sunlight glints along a new balcony railing and builders fanning out across the buckled curbstones, it being a Friday and with beers in hand. And it being a Friday, with beers in hand, we're on a balcony, and Petter's passing round guitars, and it's been a long time, but 2 chords have survived, and we sit there strumming E-A shifts, while the sky thins, then darkens, and the city leaves us to it. Thank you.